Well, hi, everybody. This is Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. It's Sunday, June 29th, 2025. We just returned from the American Meteorological Society Conference for Broadcast Meteorologists. It was out in Boise, Idaho, beautiful city out there, and it was very dry. It's in the high desert there, had no rain, but beautiful skies. And thankfully, we didn't have any tropical activity in the Gulf or the Atlantic during the period last week. I was prepared to do any weather updates from the AMS conference, but it was good to see all my colleagues out there from around the country. Right now, we do have two tropical systems that are forming, one in the Gulf of Mexico, Bay of Campeche, southern part of Gulf of Mexico, and also the Pacific, Eastern Pacific. So we're going to cover both of those storms in just a minute. Let's first show you what's happening here to the north. And I'm going to give you the statistics here. Let's take a look at that right now. You can see Tropical Storm Barry. I'll move this over just a little bit for you so you can see what's happening. That is this top one up here. Tropical Storm Barry is nearing the eastern Gulf Coast of Mexico. Maximum sustained winds 45 miles per hour. This update just coming in moments ago as we started this video update. So this is Barry right here, and you can see some tropical showers and storms moving from east to west, even impacting southern Texas in Brownsville. Some showers and storms had moved through there, and nothing really serious. And it looks like Barry is going to not strengthen much at all. As a matter of fact, 45 mile per hour winds. Look at that minimum central pressure, not too impressive. 1,006 millibars. Located at 21.2 north, 96.9 west, moving northwest at 9 miles per hour. And it looks like Barry will not intensify to a hurricane before it makes landfall. The watches, warnings, and advisories are very narrow and small with that. I will show you those on GeoCollaborate as well. Let's go over to that and show you what it looks like. Here we go. Now look, there's another system here. I'm going to show you that, Flossie, in just a few minutes. But here is that little impact area for Barry. Let's zoom in on that and I'll show you what the details look like. This colorful area are the probability of tropical storm force winds. So it gets up there 40 to 50% chance of tropical storm force winds in this area. But look, it's all off the coast. So as Barry moves to the northwest, it looks like it will be diminishing, forecast to become basically just a tropical depression way south of Brownsville. There is a tropical storm watch in effect along the coastline here. You can see that in blue, but it's really not going to be much of an impact. Have some locally heavy showers and thunderstorms. Some could cause some localized flooding, but fortunately, I'll scroll down here a little bit. This is Brownsville, Texas. So there are small craft advisories in effect there because of this area of showers and storms that have moved inland. It's kind of a broad circulation, but when it gets down to the airplanes finding the center of the storm, it's all the way down here. And this is where the center is right now. This area is the area of tropical storm force winds. That is 39 to 74 miles per hour, more like 45 miles per hour max. And that is going to be moving inland here along the northern part of the track. This is the forecast track of movement from the National Hurricane Center. So it looks like these winds will be diminishing. So gusts to 40, perhaps 50, maybe some strong local winds or waves at high tide, but not a big impact. And it certainly won't impact any of the commerce, transportation, things like that activity along the Gulf Coast. Now, along that big circulation, that broad circulation, it's creating convergence, and that's creating showers and storms just inland from the Texas coast over to Louisiana and also over to Mississippi and Alabama, where there are scattered storms there as well. Some of those storms could be heavy. Some of them could be locally severe. Please be on the lookout also and be sensitive to any lightning. We've had a number of lightning, people struck by lightning over the last 2 weeks. We had a terrific presentation out in Boise at the conference by John Jasenius, who used to work at the National Weather Service. He is tracking all of the lightning deaths around the country, and I'm going to show that to you in the next update that we have over the next couple of days here. But as far as Barry is concerned, we are not concerned at all about any major impacts to the continental United States. Now I'm going to move down here and I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see Tropical Storm Flossie. Flossie is right here. I'll show you that on the satellite picture, and we'll go back to that as well. Let's take a look at that loop. There we go. There is Flossie. I'll move that up right around here, and I'll put the statistics on for Flossie. Here we go. This is as of 4 p.m. Eastern time, so about an hour ago. Flossie continues moving west-northwest, and that is going to keep it off the coast of Mexico. But you can see there's some influence here along the southwestern coast of Mexico, some showers, some squalls moving in there. There are tropical storm watches along the coast here that goes up also to Puerto Vallarta. That's about where the tropical storm watches go. I'll show you that in more detail here in just a moment. Maximum sustained winds right now of Tropical Storm Flossie, 40 miles per hour. The pressure, minimum central pressure, 1,005 millibars, and it's located at 13.5 north, 100.4 west. West-northwest is the movement at 8 miles per hour. The good thing is it's forecast to remain off the coast, and that is great news. The bad news is it's forecast to become a hurricane over the next 24 to 36 hours, and that looks like it'll have 70 mile per hour winds. Let me show you on GeoCollaborate here, full screen. Right about this position is forecast to have winds of 75 miles per hour, becoming a hurricane, and then increasing in intensity. It looks like up to about 85 to 90 mile per hour winds. So not a major hurricane, to say the least, but the circulation, you can tell. I'll go back to the satellite picture, which is pretty impressive. Satellite picture here is pretty large compared to Barry. Look at Barry. It's just a tiny little spin right in here. It has a broader area of outflow and convergence, but look at the difference. This storm is really feeding off of a lot of warm sea surface temperatures. You can see that. I've turned the sea surface temperature layer on, looking at this high resolution GOES data from the NOAA GOES East satellite. And this, fortunately, is going to continue to move to the west-northwest and stay off the coast. We don't expect any direct impacts from Tropical Storm Flossie. Now, I've zoomed out here on GeoCollaborate, and you can see the area of probability of tropical storm force winds remains well off the coast. It does go up a little bit here to about 50 to 60% here in the probabilities. This is 50 to 60% right here. So once that touches the coastline, that probability goes up, and that's why a tropical storm watch has been issued. So that's still another day and a half away because the storm is still down here. So Flossie, that is the 6th storm in the Eastern Pacific, and it's really been cranking since its May 15th start of the hurricane season. And you can see over here for Barry, where it got its start as a little tropical wave that came across the Yucatan Peninsula and then into the southern Gulf, into the Bay of Campeche, and now it's become a tropical storm. Thank goodness it didn't have a lot more time to strengthen before it moves towards land, because we may have had a hurricane. Let's take a look at the Atlantic. This is the stats actually for Tropical Storm Barry in the Gulf. But I want to take a look at the sea surface temperature anomalies, at least on the wide area right here. And this is what it looks like. And you can see there's still a lot of cool water down here in the blue area. That is cooler than average. It doesn't mean that it's cold enough not to sustain a tropical cyclone, but it is cooler than average. And this is the warm area here. I'll clear that out. This is the warm water area here where we've seen most of the storms develop in the eastern Pacific Ocean. But let's take a look where Barry is right now. You can see that it's kicked up a little bit of water to make it about average as far as temperature goes. And this is actually a good sign because this data was updated yesterday, and you can see a signature in there of this tropical depression, which became a tropical storm. And it tells me that that warm layer is not really deep as of yet. So what we're really looking at is the ocean heat content, and we can tell that from gliders that go up and down in the ocean and take those temperature profiles. So while we see these warm anomalies here where it's very warm in the central and northern part of the Gulf, and also on the eastern side of the country, the southeastern part, and into the Atlantic now, these are all abnormally warm temperatures. But it really depends on that ocean heat content, how much of that warm water goes down and how deep is it. If it's not very deep, tropical cyclones can stir up cooler water, and that can act to hinder future strengthening of the tropical cyclone. And here is the radar look out of Brownsville, Texas. This is from the National Weather Service. It's called the WSR-88D. It's their Doppler radar. And you can see those storms that have been moving from east to west. And it looks like Barry as well to the south here. So it will not be impacting directly Texas, just indirectly with these outer convergence bands that are creating some of these storms. It does look impressive, though, on the satellite data as we take a look at Tropical Storm Flossie here. And Flossie is going to be strengthening over the next couple of days. Once again, fortunately remaining off the coast, maybe some minor impacts along the southwest Mexican coastline. What about the forecast here? Let me show you a quick model output over the next several days. I'm not going to take you all the way out for the 200 plus hour forecast that the GFS goes. We call that fantasy land, you know that. But it does look like here, this is the tropical sector. So we're looking out in the Atlantic Ocean. You can see high pressure, and this high pressure ridge has been dominating. That typically is what happens during the summertime and early fall. And this is sort of the driver, this Bermuda high here, the driver for how far west tropical systems get pushed. If they get pushed into the Gulf, if they get pushed through the Caribbean and make that curve, or if they recurve before they hit the United States, recurve out to sea, or that pressure is just right to force them into the East Coast somewhere. That's what we watch very closely when these storms form, and we'll certainly keep you posted and updated on what that looks like. Let's take a look at a little bit closer for the forecast in CONUS. Okay, here we are. So I'm going to take you through. There's no real big weather system that's expected over the next several days. We have had a lot of heat. Many records broken over the last several days in the central and eastern part of the country. That has made it very uncomfortable with heat indexes up to about 110 to even 115 in some areas along the eastern part of the country. But let's put this into motion and show you what it looks like. This is this afternoon, Sunday on into Monday. You can see some showers and storms throughout southern Iowa into northwestern Missouri and northeastern Kansas. They will break up during the day tomorrow. We'll see scattered showers and storms. And this is what we call basically diurnal effects. When the sun goes down, the land cools off. Thunderstorms tend to decrease. Unless they're associated with any sort of mesoscale convective complex or anything geeky like that we say every once in a while. But then when the sun rises and heats up the land, we get instability. And if the atmosphere is conducive with enough moisture, we do get those scattered showers and thunderstorms. And that's what it looks like the model is trying to do over the next couple of days. There is a frontal system here that's going to be passing through late Tuesday and early on Wednesday, and that could set off some more organized showers and thunderstorms. You can see in the line here, stretching all the way from Maine down through New Jersey, down through even north of that, Connecticut, Massachusetts, into Delaware and Maryland, through Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. We'll see those thunderstorm, that potential go up. And I'll show what that looks like with the convective outlook in GeoCollaborate. So it looks like nothing real major. We have scattered showers and storms. Please be very sensitive to any storms that form near you, because lightning is a deadly threat in thunderstorms. There have been numerous people and groups that have been struck by lightning, primarily on lakes or near beaches. Anytime you hear thunder, you should go indoors. There's a saying for that. When thunder roars, go indoors. Keep yourself safe. Everybody thinks, or many people think, oh, it's lightning, it's not going to strike me, until it does, and you're opening your eyes in the emergency room in the hospital. Don't take lightning for granted. It can strike anywhere and anytime, even miles away, 10, 15 miles away from the thunderstorm where it originates. That's called a bolt from the blue. I'll have more on that later. Okay, so here's a look on GeoCollaborate, because I do want to point out where there are some areas of potential showers and storms, and you can see that with the Weather Prediction Center's outlook from the National Hurricane Center. Anywhere in this green area during the next 24 hours, this is something that could result in some heavy thunderstorms, and that is certainly the possibility and thing that are happening. Some of those storms could be very heavy rainfall producers. And what you're looking at in this product is the 3-day excessive rainfall potential. And notice here in the mid-Atlantic, from Washington to Baltimore to Philadelphia, there could be storms that produce very heavy rain. And this is primarily going to be associated with that frontal system that comes through. Also in the Midwest, around in Kansas City and Missouri, all the way down to the Arkansas border, over into Kansas and Nebraska, there could be excessive rainfall here that could result in localized flooding. Now I'm going to turn that product off, because you'll notice there are some heat advisories and extreme heat advisories, and also red flag warnings for potential wildfires. That's what's happening. There's severe thunderstorm watch out here in eastern Wyoming, down including Denver area, and eastern Colorado. That's where typically a lot of severe weather forms, including tornadoes and quite a bit of hail. But I want to draw your attention to here. I know we have people watching in Florida, Jacksonville, Orlando, and Tampa. This is the National Hurricane Center's outlook for the next 7 days. And it looks like there's the possibility that a tropical system could form anywhere in this area over the next 7 days. So likely not today, likely not tomorrow, or likely not Tuesday. But when that front comes through, remember I showed you that front on Wednesday. When that front comes through, that is something that could trigger a tropical system to develop. And that's what we're going to keep watching. It's a frontal system that will delay itself. It'll become stationary down here. And whenever you have that, you could have low pressure form. And if it does, conditions will be favorable for a tropical cyclone to form. Now, I'm going to click on this and I'll show you what this means. Look at this. Probability of development within 2 days, 0%. This is from the National Hurricane Center. The probability of development in the next 7 days is 20%. So the probability is low, but it's not zero. That means we could see something develop. And if it does, it's likely to maybe develop a little low pressure system. You don't have to worry about a hurricane or anything like that here. But as it gets a circulation, it may develop into some tropical system out here off the southeast Atlantic coast. So we're not anticipating any major impacts to the state of Florida. But the National Hurricane Center feels that it's important enough to identify this area as a potential location for some tropical activity to develop. We'll be on top of this. We'll be watching it every day. If we think it warrants a video, we'll be producing a video and putting that out. But in the meantime, just stay weather aware. I've got the radar turned on, and look at all these thunderstorms, these little isolated thunderstorms that are happening right now that have a lot of lightning associated with them. There's also here a heat advisory that's going on within central Arkansas into southwestern Tennessee and western Mississippi, northeastern Louisiana. Very hot conditions there. We also have this severe thunderstorm. There's a severe thunderstorm warning going on, and this big area is a severe thunderstorm watch happening right now. So some of these storms could produce large hail, gusty winds in parts of southwestern Missouri, and also there could be an isolated tornado. Out here in West Texas, these are flood watches in effect. You can click on that flood watch that's in effect for potential thunderstorms that are going to be very slow movers. Well, that's the way it looks right now, and I will certainly keep you updated on what's happening with these tropical systems because we do want to keep an eye on them. Again, we have Barry in the Bay of Campeche that's about to make landfall in Mexico along the eastern coast of Mexico, and that is right here. That is where Barry is, right in this area here. And you can see it's very close to the coastline. And this is also Tropical Storm Flossie, very active eastern Pacific storm season so far. And Flossie is expected to remain out to sea, but drum up quite a few waves and rip currents also on the southwestern coast of Mexico. That tropical storm watch goes all the way up to Puerto Vallarta. I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. This has been a update, the tropical activity update today, this Sunday, June 29th. We'll be back again, most likely tomorrow, with an update, and we'll tell you what's happening with Barry, and also if there's anything else on the horizon, since the Hurricane Center does have that low probability across Florida and into the southeast part of the U.S. Off on the ocean. So we'll be keeping you updated on all that. Thank you so much for watching this update. It's been for the All Hazards Consortium, Fleet Response Working Group, and the Sensitive Information Sharing Environment, and all the stakeholders there. Thanks so much for watching. Please watch out for yourself and watch out for your neighbors. They really do appreciate it. Have yourself a good afternoon.